Hey, welcome back to the Big Rant Show. Thanks for joining me. Please hit that like and subscribe button down below, and let's get right to it. Well, as many of you know, yesterday Donald Trump decided he would rescind the 2012 order by President Obama creating the DACA program, the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program. Now, many of you know about this, and many of you, some of you may support it. Most of you, looking at polls, do not. And neither do a lot of business groups around the country. Even the Cato Institute isn't really in support of this particular thing because it harms business. Many businesses are going to be opposed to this as well when it comes down the line. But let me give you a few bits of information on qualifying and a few other tidbits before I get to reading you my statement that I have prepared for this particular video. First off, DACA qualifications. You have to have come to the U.S. before your 16th birthday. You must be at least 15 years of age or older unless you are currently in removal proceedings or have a final removal or voluntary departure order. And you must have been less than 31 years old as of June 15th of 2012. When it comes to residence, you have to have continuously resided in the U.S. since June 15th of 2007 up to the present time. You must have been physically present in the U.S. on June 15th of 2012 and when requesting consideration of deferred action with the USCIS. You have to have entered the U.S. without inspection before June 15th of 2012, or your lawful immigration status had to have expired as of June 15th of 2012. And this is where it really starts to get interesting and really kind of throws the script on its head for Donald Trump and Attorney General Jeff Sessions. First off, you have to currently be in school or have a high school diploma or have obtained a GED. Or you could have honorably discharged as a veteran of the United States Coast Guard or the United States Armed Forces. And here's the kicker. Background checks. You can have no felonies, no significant misdemeanors, and less than 3 other misdemeanors. If you have a third one, you're out. And you can't pose a threat to national security or the security of the public in general. These are the things that qualify you to be able to pay to apply. Doesn't mean you'll be accepted, but these are the qualifications for DACA. Now, as you can tell by looking at the section on the background checks, there's really no legitimacy to the argument that these are those bad hombres that Trump was talking about during his campaign, or that a lot of people on the right are claiming to be the case. These people are not felons. They do not come in. These people are not here raping people, murdering people, or selling drugs. And these people have to maintain these requirements. They can't later, fail a background check and stay on the program. But let me get you to a few little tidbits of information, and then I'll get to my rant for this particular video. The average DACA recipient is 26 years old and came to the U.S. at age 6. Think back to when you were 6 years old. How much control did you have of what your parents did? And how much did you know about yourself at age 6? Parents hide things from their kids when they're young. And so a lot of these people didn't find out until much later that they weren't legal citizens in the only country they've ever known. 91% are employed, leaving 9% that aren't employed. Many of those are in school or, in some other kind of education. And I'm sure there's a small percentage probably that are not employed, and that's a different little story. They have no major criminal record. I don't know if this particular stat I'm showing you is 100% true, because I know that it does say they can have some misdemeanors, like lower level misdemeanors, but no felonies, no major misdemeanors. Basically, you can't be convicted of drug offenses or anything like that. You can't be a violent criminal, and you can't have done anything more really than got stopped by a police officer for speeding or something. Not to mention, these people must also pay a $500 fee every 2 years to renew. This is roughly $800 million every year to the U.S. federal government simply to reside here, work here. Don't you think that these people, if they were so bad and so unemployable and all this stuff that Donald Trump and Attorney General Sessions tries to paint them as, do you think they could really afford the $500 here, plus whatever it costs for attorney's fees to make sure they fill the application outright? Because if it's not filled outright, all of a sudden they have to pay that $500 back again to reapply because their application was incorrect the first time. And lawyers aren't cheap. On top of the $500 you're already having to pay, it's insane. But with his actions yesterday to end DACA unless Congress can act before March 15th of 2018, Trump has shown his true colors. Not only does it show how many he is willing to hurt simply to undo anything that his predecessor did, but as well shows he has no real understanding of the DACA program or the individuals in the DACA program. These people were brought here as kids by their parents, many never knowing their status until trying to go to college or get a job out of high school. These are great people. Not only must they clear background checks, gain unemployment, and renew their status every few years at the cost of $500 a pop, they are also not criminals, or the bad hombres Trump tries to call them. These people go to college, start businesses, thus employing more Americans. Many are currently serving in our military, something Trump never did. As well, these people on the DACA program have been here since before many of them can even remember, and have been educated in our tax-funded educational system. Is this not a waste of money to just kick them out after we spent all this money educating them? And the average age of a DACA applicant to be brought to the U.S. is 6 years old. So it's safe to say most of them have only known the U.S. as home. So sending them back to somewhere that they've never really remembered and they never really lived is completely immoral. My hope is that Congress will get something done quickly, but I won't hold my breath. Mr. Trump, I've tried giving you a chance to be a real president, but you have failed. You are such a little man that you have to harm others so you can feel bigger. You are so threatened by all our last president got done that you are willing to break the U.S. economy and crush the dreams of 800,000 hardworking people with clean criminal histories. You are the worst president in my lifetime, and I fully support your impeachment. Keep resisting. Y'all have a great day, and please come back for more videos.